Hey everyone, thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. Today I want to do a video about my experiences meditating to Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations for 6 months. I'm a very meticulous person and I've kept notes through this whole journey. As I'm recording this video now, I'm currently on month 4. It's 2023 of February. So I'm going to start with month 1. First of all, the reason why I'm doing this is because I feel like it could help some people. I know I was very lost and confused when I started this journey, and I think if I had some more resources or some people to talk to that have been through the process and to hear some of the things they went through, maybe it would have made my journey a little easier. So first I'm going to start with my backstory. I am 40 years old. I'm a military veteran. So I was a driver and a gunner in Iraq War. I turned 21 over there. It was very intense, and I had severe PTSD when I got back, which I used alcohol to cope with. I had a very chaotic lifestyle. I was homeless. I was in a toxic marriage for 7 years. I couldn't hold a job. I was pretty much a wreck. I was just surviving, and ended my marriage and got in another great relationship with someone that I didn't know was off their medication and bipolar. And this person tried to strangle me. Thank God I got away, and then they hung themselves. About this point in my life, I was just done. An ayahuasca popped into my mind, and so I went to Peru and did an ayahuasca retreat, which I partaked 3 times in. This helped a lot. This cleared so much trauma, and it cleared a lot of my PTSD, but I still had the drinking problem, and the drinking problems seemed to get worse. I ended up moving back home because my father had passed away, and I helped. So I ended up moving home when my father passed away, and I got hooked up with a guy. We had a lot of fun. It was like, all we wanted to do is party together because we both had no one to party with for so long, and we had a lot of fun. But it was very stressful because of all the drinking, and we'd have some stupid fights, and we ended up getting married because we were in love, and it was just stressful because of the drinking. And I didn't realize I was doing a lot of that. But anyways, I ended up with a severe H. pylori infection that damaged my insides so much that my kidneys were having issues, as well as my liver. I couldn't eat. I became underweight. I had severe anxiety from the moment of waking till going to bed. I really couldn't eat anything. It was a long, hard, matter-to-matter struggle to get better. I did everything perfectly: the diet, the supplements, the stress management. I got away from all chemicals, started making my own beauty products, and I got a lot better, but I wasn't 100%. I still couldn't eat some certain things. Anything sweet, whether it was sugar or not sugar, would just make me nauseous and want to throw up. And I still had nausea every morning before eating. So I ended up getting vertigo after meditating. I had started meditating after, getting introduced to Louise Hayes and Abraham Hicks. And I would meditate every morning for 20 minutes, listening to an air conditioner. No great changes happened other than I seemed to be a little calmer, and I was definitely more aware of my thoughts. I got vertigo after a meditation, and I thought it was because the energy moving, because I did Qigong and then I did a meditation laying down, and I told my chiropractor this, who I just met, and he was like, "Oh, you meditate." I meditate for 40 minutes every morning. And then he asked if I heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza, which I had, But at the time, I wasn't into meditation, and it was just like, no, I'm not doing this. So I didn't really get into his work a whole lot. So anyways, my chiropractor's wife had a severe cancer. I believe it was terminal. They went to a retreat and now she's 100% better. So I heard that information and I was like, okay, I'm doing this. If, I didn't know he was healing cancers and stuff. I didn't know all this. So I went home and I got the formula. I loved it. I did the formula in about 2 weeks. Of course, I kept reviewing the information. I would meditate about 2 to 3 times a day. It was pretty intense for me. I wasn't used to the bellowing voice of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it was hard for me to sit and take it seriously. A lot of times I kind of wanted to giggle a little bit, but I got through it, and the more I did it, the less hilarious it was, I guess. It was just really weird to me. About 2 weeks in, I decided to get the blessing of the energy center bundles. And I ended up getting COVID right after for the first time. It was pretty terrible. I couldn't get out of bed for about a week and a half. And so I was doing my meditations and I realized somewhere in there that I felt like something was like I could eat whatever I wanted. So I experimented with it. I was already sick and I was losing even more weight that I had just put on. And so I got some sushi rolls cooked and some donuts and just some high calorie foods. And I was able to eat them all and I had no issues. And I was like, oh my gosh, this works. Like, I'm supernatural. I can do anything. And I got really pumped and really excited. But I couldn't understand why I was still sick with the COVID symptoms. But I was just thrilled that I could eat whatever I wanted. So I was excited. I was like, sweet, I can finally putting on weight. And life's going to be good. I will say that I did each blessing in the energy centers for about a week before moving on to the next one. And I went back and forth between 2 and 3 all the month. Now I want to go through some of the challenges I went through. Meditation positions. Man, I could not get comfortable. I couldn't find anything that worked for me for a while. No matter how I sat, my foot would fall asleep, my ankle, my legs, my spine would hurt. I just could not get comfortable until I sat in the Lazy Boy recliner and reclined it out, and I was still in mostly an upright position, and finally I could meditate. I could be comfortable. And so that's what worked for me. I would hear like really weird noises while meditating, and I'm wearing these big noise canceling headphones and I have the volume very loud. And it'd be like I'd hear people running around or like pounding on the walls. No one's home. I live, there's in a house. There's not neighbors super close by that would be able to disturb me while I'm in the home. So it was kind of creepy and I didn't really know what to think of it, but it is what it is, and I kept going. I want to give you some tips for the first month, especially if you do the chakra or the energy center meditations. What I did that really helped me is I took a week and I would study each chakra or energy center. And I would learn about it. I'd watch a YouTube video about it. I'd focus on the colors of the foods, essential oils, the feelings. And when I made my little person with the energy symbols and what I wanted to program, I practiced feeling those elevated emotions for each center that I was trying to create before actually doing the meditation. That way, when I got into the meditation, I wasn't scrambling around in my head like, oh, what am I supposed to be feeling? Which symbol did I pick? That helped me a lot. Also, show yourself grace. This is a new skill that you're learning. You're not going to be amazing at it. You're not even gonna know if you're doing it right, but you are doing it right because there's really not much to do other than sit there with yourself, listen to the music, follow his instructions. If you start having thoughts that come up, that's fine. Like, sit with them or tell yourself, okay, no, this is my time now, and try to quiet your mind. No big deal. And expect it to happen a lot, because this is something new you're learning and your body's going to fight you on it. Always thank yourself when you're done. I always thank myself, like, thank you for putting in the work. Thank you for showing up, because as easy as it is, it still takes time out of your life. You still got to put the time in. You got to find the time to do it. And keep reviewing the material daily. Go through, if you get the formula, go through and review those lessons every day. Just review one lesson a day while you're in the shower, getting around in the morning, or on your drive to work. I watched a lot of YouTube testimonials that helped me keep motivated, to keep like, why am I doing this? Okay, this is why. Like, as weird as this is, apparently it's working for a lot of people. So it kept me motivated to keep going. And another tip I have, don't tell people what you're doing unless you're pretty sure they will have an open mind and not judge you. Because if you try to explain to what you're doing to somebody who doesn't meditate or doesn't get, the quantum field or science, they're going to look at you like you're nuts. And I have experienced that. And it can be frustrating. And you're not even going to be able to explain what you're doing and why you're doing it very well, because it's so new. But that's okay. So just keep it to yourself for now. I did have some wins the first month. For the first time in a year and a half, I was able to leave the state. I went to a concert with my husband, and I was very nervous previously for this concert because I had known about it for 3 months. It wasn't music that I would listen to. And I was just nervous because now I'm going to have to eat out of the house. And I didn't know if I would be able to, because I have so much trauma surrounding food, especially if it's at a restaurant and not in my home or a family member's home. Well, I ate a little bit and I was able to get through it and had a good time. And so I was really happy that I did that. It was really hard for me to do that. I was scared. I was nervous. I had bad anxiety, but I just kept telling myself, like, you can do this. You got this. You have to have new experiences to elevate your brain. Just freaking do it. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen, And another challenge I do want to share that came up is I would have so many weird thoughts about the past, people I didn't think about, situations I had forgot about through my meditations and during the day. I think that just happens. I think as you're like waking your brain up and really sitting with yourself, you stir this energy up and things get going, things get stirring. So that was my experience with month 1. Overall, it was pretty good. Nothing amazing, but it did lay a good foundation for month 2. Stay tuned for my month 2 video. Thanks.